We're just about 1 minute out. I've just told Louise and Cecilia, so when the startups are pitching, if you could just turn off your camera and mute your mic, and then come back on once they're done. Their 4 minutes is up, and then you guys can jump straight into questions and feedback. I guess we can get prepared for the first pitch, which is Tish from Their Perfect Gift.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Tish Dezoiser. I am the founder of Their Perfect Gift. TPG is a spend anywhere gift card. You can redeem it in any place in the world that takes MasterCard. So just a bit of background. I am an ex-director of a restructuring practice called Duff & Phelps, where I focused in helping distressed businesses through their financial issues. Just a quick recap of the UK gift card market, which is currently valued at around £7 billion. But, you know, gift cards aren't sexy, so it largely stays under the radar. Under current research, it's split roughly 20% corporate, 80% consumer, and that corporate piece is rising. The market grows around 5% every year. The problem with our gift card environment at the moment is that it's enormous, but the problem is that the card itself restricts you to spend in particular stores. Around 95% of all gift cards restrict you to one retailer. They lack personalization. And if the company goes out of business, as we saw in the whole of 2020, especially with things like UK-EUR and Debenhams, legally your gift card is worthless, and hence where, given my background, that the idea first sprang from. And our solution was to create a spend anywhere gift card, working with the likes of MasterCard, to allow the cardholder redeem in over 32 million global locations. We personalize it through greeting cards, personalized pictures, but also on the card itself, either with your own personalized picture or also video using augmented reality, and fundamentally protecting the consumer's funds in ring-fenced MasterCard accounts. In back end of last year, as well as surviving COVID, we also survived the collapse of Wirecard and the FCA managing to turn off that entire environment. And we launched our own app. So the card can be activated via the app, which fundamentally means that people come into our ecosystem without us actually having to pay them to do so. Yeah, so the recipient of our gift card has fundamentally received free money, and to activate it, they voluntarily come into our environment. Then we also launched our retention features, our own marketplace. So we've done deals with brands such as Armani, Michael Kors, Ray-Bans, etc., where you are offered designer brands below RRP. You're also able to access worldwide hotels, and the pricing is cheaper than Booking and Expedia. So these are value-add features that enable you to not delete our app even after you've done the money. These are some high-profile people who don't like gift cards, largely because of their unsafe nature in the point of insolvency. And the point being is that we have actually created to want of a better word, a neobank in stealth, because as well as launching all those other features, we are also now able to issue our own bank accounts with funds held in ring-fenced accounts with the Bank of England, and all done with total investment to date of £314,000, and a big chunk of that I still have in the bank. We are also this quarter launching our own savings solution, providing savers an uplift of around 4 to 5% on their savings. We actually make money. We make money in multiple verticals, and people actually pay to buy our product. And as people come into our ecosystem, they pay us some more. We are multi-award winning, and these are awards right across Europe. We have major corporate brands that buy from us. And in fact, on Monday, all of the Netflix nominated actors, producers, etc., and directors of the shows that for the Golden Globes on Monday will be receiving our card in their good. The market is enormous, 30 billion and growing. Our go-to plan is focusing corporates. The team comes from payments, retail and tech and financial services. This is how we compare to our competitors. Our mission is to be the most popular gift card in the market. Our funds will largely be reused to marketing, basically just creating a hell of a lot more awareness, because this is the side I really want to leave you with, is we've done this far on no marketing, and this is what we'll do with some marketing. So last year, about 1.7 million in revenues with no marketing spend whatsoever.
You can go ahead and jump right in.
Hi Tish, thanks for that.
All right, Louise.
Okay, I'll kick off with some questions then. I guess what's the relationship with MasterCard? You know, there's quite a lot of their kind of logo in the deck, and can't help but notice all the similar colouring. So yeah, is it a partnership? You can talk a little bit more about that, please.
Yeah, sure. So we have a more informal relationship with MasterCard than anything else. Our logos have been on our branding since day one. And when we first kicked off, they actually gave us a vanity link directly off their main website to us. So the relationship is purely a relationship based on our relationship rather than a formal piece. Yeah. So it's very much in the same vein as many prepaid operations that you'll see, or neobanks, I think people are calling them today.
Thanks.
Hi Tish, just a couple of questions on my side. The first one is just trying to dive deeper into how you set up partnerships with those brands and different shops, and how it works. And the second one is more around current app retention. I don't know if you have any stats of monthly, weekly, daily active users and retention rates, etc.
Yeah, sure. So the first issue to note, though, is we never had the money to launch the app directly off the bat. So we only managed to get it off the ground back end of last year, so around September. And then we had a peak, obviously coming out of COVID, and then a peak into the last quarter of the year. So at the moment, people pretty much open the app every time they get the card, and that could take up to 50 days. And for 4 weeks after that, they're continually returning back to the app to check their balance. Okay. So I still don't consider us as a finished article. I think we've been an MVP for the last 4 years, because we hard launched in March 2016. The whole point was to try and build a sustainable business day one, rather than chasing user numbers. And so we make a profit on every card, basically, is the point.
Makes sense. Thank you. And just going into like those brands partnerships, the ones that you have with Armani and the different hotels.
Yeah, we are able to buy their product. We use third parties. So I infiltrated the incentives world first, because that was the world we're coming from, right? We went incentives into financial services, not financial services to incentives. So I am a director of the board of the IMA, which is Incentives Marketing Association for Europe, and I'm working with the partners in that environment to bring us those organisations, so I don't have to manage it; they do it.
Hey, I had a couple questions. What's the split between physical gift cards and virtual gift cards? And therefore, the next question is: do you need anymore?
Okay, so we were only able to launch virtual back into last year.
Yeah.
But what we're seeing is, and since then, we are seeing almost a 50-50 split between virtual and physical. And a lot of the virtual is being done to counteract the issues around postage and speed. Yeah.
Yeah.
But remember, we go to market regarding gifting. Yeah. We don't market as a financial services business, even though we have the same tech, as you know. What we do market is as a retailer. And when you receive something in the post, it's a lot more emotive than actually something receiving on an email. So we're trying to focus more on the emotive piece.
Do you use the MasterCard network still, if it's a virtual gift card, or do you use like QR code?
Yes. No, still the MasterCard network, because the recipient still is able to redeem anywhere in the world that takes MasterCard, but on the internet.
Okay. And then do you then have to pay processing costs still?
I'm afraid so, dude.
Cool.
Bane of my life.
I can imagine.
Yeah. But you know how that rolls, right?
How much are they, Tish? At 1%?
Expensive. Far too much, Louise.
Hey guys,
Depends how much you negotiate. It can be a lot.
But, yeah, it's a lot.
I'm sorry to interrupt you right on that note, but I'm sure you guys can connect for any further questions after. Thank you, Tish. Another great pitch. And thank you, judges, for the great questions.
Thank you.
Up next is Hugo from Role Models.
Yeah.
You are good to start.
Brilliant. So hello everyone, my name is Hugo Shepherd. I'm the founder and managing director of Role Models. We're an education business. The inspiration for Role Models came from my degree in psychology. I've always had a real interest in how the early stage of people's lives dictate how they turn out from a personality point of view, how it impacts their characteristics. I did my dissertation on mother-infant bonding, so it's an interest area for me. So in terms of Role Models itself, we are an education provider focused on social and emotional well-being, which we wrap up in the term life skills. And by life skills, we mean skills like resilience, creativity, collaboration, leadership. And we do this through delivering online and offline courses and sessions to 5 to 13-year-olds. And we focus on this younger age group because we believe very much in a prevention rather than cure approach. We don't want to be a remedial therapy service for teenagers. From an investment point of view, we're looking to raise £1 million based on a pre-money valuation of 2.88 million. We have approximately 400k committed so far, and this is our second raise after having raised 540k through Angels in 2019. The problem we're looking to solve is the deterioration of mental health and well-being amongst young people. This graph is a report released by the NHS back in January showing that deterioration over the last 3 years. It's pretty widely known, that issue, not only in the UK, but also as a global crisis. Our solution from an online perspective, we've developed our own unique life skills content in-house. We deliver that via Zoom through our inspirational role models who we recruit and train in our content. And we deliver that to children around the world aged 5 to 13. These are group Zoom sessions with up to 9 children on a call. And the sessions are typically either 60 or 90 minutes long. In terms of the size of the opportunity, the UK market for private tuition perspective is valued at £2 billion. Globally, it's £75 billion. And the global market is forecast to grow to £139 billion by 2026. And as you can imagine, COVID has done nothing but increase the size of the opportunity in this area. So what have we managed since we launched the online version of what we do in April 2020? So over that period, up until January 2021, we've delivered 145k of online revenue. We've delivered our content to children in 38 different countries around the world. And we've maintained our net promoter score, our customer service metric of above 70, which is the threshold for excellence. Also, all our online reviews across Facebook, Google, and OutSchool are all an average of 4.8 stars or above. We deliver this as a B2C model, direct to parents. We also deliver this, as you'll see on the right, as an employee benefit through a number of different corporates, where those employees are able to access our services for their children to allow them to balance work and family life. And that's been very fruitful for us. So that's what we've managed. And then finally, our vision. Our plan is to be the global leader in developing life skills. We want to impact the lives of at least 1 million young people. And as you can imagine, now more than ever, the world needs people with the empathy, resilience, and confidence to thrive. That's it. Just snuck inside 4 minutes. I'd welcome any questions.
Judges, you can go ahead and start with the questions.
Hi, Hugo. Cecilia here. I have a couple.
Hello.
Hi. Great presentation. So the first one is, I don't think it was in the presentation, but it's more around the pricing and the length of the courses.
Yeah, so we have 2 products. One is just one-off sessions, which are 1 hour long, and we have different pricing tiers, but the middle most common pricing tier is 25 quid an hour. And then we also have another product, which is a 5-day course, 90 minutes per day, so 7.5 hours of content, and that costs £195. So similar hourly value.
Okay. And how do you see your company kind of moving into a more of a platform for content related to life skills around kids? Do you think you'll move forward with adding more courses or adding like longer courses? How can you like improve the overall kind of LTV for customers?
Yeah, the plan is to develop more content for starters. So to give a guideline, we've got 80 1-hour sessions at the moment. We want to develop that to 175. That's part of what we want to use the investment for. Further down the line, not yet, but I think there's an opportunity further down the line to use AR, and VR to help develop that product. I can envisage children being in a position where they can actually role play certain situations and put those skills into practice. But that's a little bit further down the line.
Thank you.
Go for it, Ollie.
I have so many questions. I won't have time. I'll ask like 1 or 2. First of all,
easy ones.
Okay, we'll go with the easy ones. First of all, who's filling up the Net Promoter? Is it the kids or the parents?
We do ask them both. That particular score is from the parents. We have recently, we asked the Net Promoter score for the kids in a slightly different way, because you can imagine kids age 5, how much they'd recommend it to a colleague or friend is a difficult one. So that was the parents' score. We do also ask children, and the score comes out pretty close.
And then how can you prove the link between teaching skills to kids and their mental health?
How can we prove the link?
Yeah, you said that the solution is you're going to teach kids skills like leadership, creativity. And then you said the issue you're trying to solve is kids' mental health. And how can you prove that they're linked?
I suppose proving impact, the impact assessments for what we do, first of all, I'd say it's very difficult. There's no getting away from that. Trying to prove how you develop how you impact soft skills is really hard. We do that at the moment through surveys, mainly to the parents. We're working on another impact assessment tool at the moment, but so far the kind of psychometric tools and stuff that we've looked at, we don't think are much better than our own current surveys. That's how we do it at the moment.
Cool.
Just a couple from me. Kind of similar to how it's quite intangible. How do you teach something like resilience to, say, a 5-year-old child?
Yeah, so for the really young ones, we use storybooks to help bring it to life. Obviously, all of our sessions need to be fun and engaging, otherwise the kids won't enjoy it, they won't learn. So like a resilience course sounds really quite dry and boring. We obviously make a massive effort for it not to be like that. So resilience will break down into lots of different areas. An example might be making mistakes or comfort zones. So comfort zones, we might ask the children to talk about when do they feel that they're within their comfort zone? What are a few examples of things that are in their comfort zone? What's something that's just outside their comfort zone and might be considered in their learning zone? and what's something that they're going way beyond that into what we might call a panic zone. And then we talk about encouraging children to understand the benefits of pushing themselves into that learning zone, but not into a panic zone. So that would be one on comfort zones, and then making mistakes. Often these are quite simple concepts, but wanting them to understand the benefits that you can take from making mistakes, because there's obviously a 7 or 8 year old, you're obsessed with getting 100% in everything, and a mistake is a disaster. So trying to help them understand that. So it's a little bit of theory, but try and make sure that a lot of it is done through activities and games so that it's fun.
Mm-hmm. And if we have time, just anything, do you have any kind of data yet on repeat customers and kind of, anyone who's done a 1 hour course, are they coming back? You've seen as retention rate?
Yeah, slightly tricky question to answer, because we don't yet have a monthly membership model. So to know when people drop off. So someone might have booked a course and had a really good experience and they're going to book another one, but we don't know when. So the kind of ad hoc nature of buying makes our customer retention metric quite difficult to measure. But since April, it's at around about 44% repeat customers, and that's obviously continuing to go up as time passes. So we're quite happy with that. And obviously the best thing we can do on that front is keep delivering a really high quality service, and all the reviews we're getting, and as I say, NPS scores are outstanding. So we can't see any reason why that won't continue to improve.
I'm gonna have to hop in there. Thank you, Hugo. That was a great pitch. Judges, once again, thank you very much for the questions. Great questions. And,
no problem. Thanks very much for having me.
Thanks, Hugo.
Thank you, Hugo.
Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.
And we have Lauren from Sweatbooker.
Hi, we are Lauren Demarest and Beverly Barnes, co-founders of Sweatbooker. We are revolutionizing the Mediterranean fitness and wellness industry. Our motivation is based on our experience working in the fitness industry in Greece. Here in the US, the fitness industry has already gone digital. However, much of Europe, the industry has no online presence and really relies on these in-person signups, which is fine before COVID. But COVID has forever altered the way that consumers interact with businesses. And Greek consumers are becoming more digitally savvy out of necessity. So whether it's online searches, class signups, promotions, payments, their current infrastructure was not developed for the digital age, and the providers need help in transforming their businesses. Sweatbooker offers a digital path for fit pros to create powerful new revenue streams, while also making their operations much more efficient. At the same time, we will allow fitness enthusiasts much more convenient ways of searching for and engaging with wellness experiences. Sweatbooker is a turnkey marketplace platform. Fit pros can upload their class schedules, and users can then search either by geolocation, by class type, time of day to book their classes. And with ongoing restrictions, we're first focusing on the digital classes, and then we'll transition into in-person classes as allowed. Our purpose is to help providers promote their business, maintain customer relationships, and take payments. In Europe, there are nearly 64,000 fitness studios with a membership of almost 65 million people. Memberships are growing at 3.8%, and people are paying around $45 a month for these club memberships. Within Greece alone, we have a $275 million opportunity. Within the Mediterranean region, this grows to a $9 billion fitness market. And then adding all of Europe, it grows to a $34 billion opportunity. We make money on both sides of each transaction. We take a booking fee from the club and a monthly membership fee from the user. Our value is around convenience, variety, and discounts on classes that they wouldn't get otherwise. Our go-to-market strategy, we have an on-the-ground sales team that gives us a competitive advantage, hyper-targeted social media buys, a referral program, and physical decals at the gyms that drive traffic online. There's actually no direct competition at the moment. Small groups of local trainers are creating private online training sessions, but global players like ClassPass just aren't available in these markets. And that's what's giving us some pretty serious first mover advantage. Here's our team. I spent my career as a creative director with McCann, working on global brands like L'Oreal Paris, General Mills, and more. Sweatbooker is my third venture. It's my second in Greece. My business partner, Beverly, has been in analytics and operations roles for Fortune 500 retail companies Coach, Ralph Lauren, and Gap, leading inventory planning, sales forecasting, and distribution before shifting to IT product management at Gap. And here at the bottom, our Greek counterparts are respected fitness professionals in mainland Greece with robust wellness networks. We have launched our beta in the Greek market and are onboarding fitness professionals now. Realistically, we think we can triple revenue every year for the next 4 years as we grow into other Mediterranean markets with a break-even point at year 3. And we want to close our funding round early 2021 so that we can get back to Greece and start growing our market share. Brand building is very key to our success, so we plan to use 45% of the funds that we raise toward marketing efforts, followed by key hires.
That's 4 minutes, just to let you know.
Okay, and just other operating costs. So the current raise will get us to the KPI of 20,000 users. And yeah, that's it. I can unshare, I suppose, right?
Judges, go ahead and jump in. Lauren, Beverly's not requested access, so I'll wait to see when she does.
Okay, Bev, hop on. I want you guys to meet my co-founder too. Anyway, ready for questions.
Hi Lauren, nice to meet you. Thanks for your pitch. I guess it'd be good to know how the beta launch has gone so far. How many users have you got, and also towards that kind of 20,000 in 2 years almost seems quite small compared to what you kind of put the market opportunity as. So it'd be good to know a bit more about what the strategy is there on the user front.
Sure. So we've just launched our beta. We're onboarding fitness professionals. It's important to us that we reach a critical mass of fit pros all throughout Greece before we start the process of onboarding the end users. So we're in that process now. We have 20 fit pros from around Greece that are mostly focused within the city centers of Athens and Thessaloniki, but we're continuing to onboard more all the time. And Bev, do you want to?
Hi, I'm Beverly. I'm Lauren's co-founder. With regard to those financial projections, the market opportunity is really the total spend on recreational fitness. We will be processing those payments and taking a cut. So our profits are basically, designed to pass along some of that revenue to the fitness professionals on the site, and then our revenue is essentially the fraction of that we retain as a fee.
Also, are you guys both based in Greece or in the US or UK?
Part time. So we're both currently in the US at the moment. Since things are closed in Greece anyway, we can do everything remotely at this point, but as it opens up, we'll be going back over there.
Hey guys, thanks for your pitch. I had 2 questions. So the first one is willingness to pay. Have you tested £5 a month, and what do customers say? And then the second thing is, this might be a really stupid question, but my perception of why a lot of bookings in person is to handle like a massive load of tourists and to get them to be active while they're on holiday. Is that true? And if that is true, how would you guys manage it, being an app that they would have to download rather than being in person?
Yeah.
Willingness to
Remind
pay.
me the first question.
Have you tested it?
Oh, yes. So we've actually developed this business model specifically for this market. We arrived at this number basically based on what their economy is like. So something similar in the US would be like Mind Body, for example, which is at the very minimum $250 a month at the entry level for a gym or a fitness professional to have the same kinds of booking and scheduling and payment processing. And in somewhere like Athens, $250 is the price of a rent on a nice house. It's not affordable for these people. So we've developed and reached that €5 a month price point, based on what people actually make there, what people actually spend there. And, we're also willing to look into freemium kinds of models as well.
And we did do a survey of 50 potential end users who work at a co-working space in Athens, and there wasn't resistance to the €5 price point. The other flip side of that is that paying the €5 a month unlocks discounts of 10% on all of the classes that they book. So if a typical class runs 10 to 20 euros, if a class were 10 euros, you'd only have to book 5 classes a month to make up the membership fee. And then to your question.
And in terms of tourism, I think most people that would be coming to Greece are used to booking and paying online to begin with. I don't think that it's very convenient for people who are already used to something like a ClassPass or a Mind Body to try to call and schedule something and use cash. Also, tourists aren't necessarily our main consumer. This is really built for local populations. And as we scale into other Mediterranean markets, it's built to work for those local populations in those markets as well.
On that timing, we have, sorry, Cecilia, I'm sure you can connect with them after the event, the pictures in like about half an hour. But thank you guys so much for coming on and doing the pitch, and thank you, judges, for the questions.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you all very much for giving me the opportunity to present ourselves today. I would like to talk to you all about a real and pressing problem in the shipping industry: cargo claims. So over 90% of global trade is currently transported by sea, and global trade today is worth over $32 trillion. 1 out of every 3 voyages arrives with delay, giving a significant opportunity for claims to arise. And the problem with the claims today is it currently takes about 3 to 6 months for claims to be resolved, and it's costing insurance companies and cargo owners significantly, and the process today is heavily manual. We know this to be so because of my experience in the industry. So for the past 14 years, I've lived and worked in London, Buenos Aires, and Johannesburg. And I've worked as a claims expert, both for the shipping line side, but also for the insurance company side. And this is my second company in this space. So to help fix the problems that we have identified, we have built a multi-sided digital platform that connects cargo owners and their insurers directly to shipping lines with the goal of fostering predictive claims resolution. So how does the system work? The insurance company deploys a secure link for a cargo owner who uses this link to access their phone and collect evidence which is required for the insurance. All the collected information, all the secure collected information is then transformed into a first notification of loss. And the insurance company uses that information to then automate their claims against the shipping line. They rely on our predictive algorithms to guide them such that even those without the requisite maritime law background will be able to handle what has before now been considered as a complex claim. Assuming that we have a 500 euro for a 5 year, we settle 5,000 cases, then we're looking at a gross revenue by our 5th year of 25 million. Now, just to put that in context, the top largest shipping lines in Europe currently process 29,000 cases a month. So us targeting 50,000 cases by our 5th year is only a drop in the ocean. $138 billion worth of perishables is damaged in transit every single year. 12.5 billion in pharmaceuticals in the air industry, and 15 billion is what is spent by insurance companies today for claims administration and for claims payment and administrative costs. So our business model is simple. Cargo owners are going to use our tool, our evidence collection tool, on a pay-per-use model. Insurance companies are going to have a 5% success fee, and cargo carriers are going to use our solution on a monthly subscription basis. Since incorporation in 2018, we've raised some money and we've had some revenue. Today, 71,000 euros, with some of the money coming from a paid pilot with one of the largest shipping lines in the world. We have a bucket of warm leads with huge companies like Maersk and Kuehne+Nagel and One, but also with some key insurance companies around the world. Other KPIs include reducing the current inspection costs from 1,000 euros by 750 euros, and we've reduced the claim cycle to be under 30 days. Our go-to-market starts off with the cargo owners and the insurers. The reason why we choose to go first with cargo owners is because of the influence that they both have on insurance companies and cargo carriers. We are also talking to 6 IoT data providers who have seen an opportunity to use our solution to get on the front line with managing the claims for their customers who are currently using those IoT devices. As indicated, till date, we had a revenue of 71,000 euros. We are projected to have 25 million by 2025. Our break-even is going to be in 2022, and we hope to reduce our OPEX from 98% currently to 3% by 2024. We have looked at some of the exits in our industry, and we've identified Descartes, which acquired Containers, Cerasis, and Global Trans.
To let you know, your 4 minutes is up.
Oh, sorry. The team consists of myself, Tim, and Harvey, and we are supported by Susan and Albert, who are experts in the shipping industry. So thank you all very much for your time, and I'll be very happy to take any questions.
Judges, you can go ahead.
Hi, Kingsley. Thank you for the presentation.
Hi.
A couple of questions from my side. The first one is, how do you, I mean, the whole cargo industry and digital and freight forwarding is digitalizing. So do you integrate with any of the IoT tracking provider or any of the kind of digital freight forwarders like SendCargo, Ford, or Flexport? And the second question is whether you can expand a bit more on the sales cycles, the length, and whether you have to go through any RFPs. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. So currently we have about 8 of the IoT providers who basically got in touch with us because they saw an opportunity for us to be able to meet customers at the point of need. So imagine with the IoT disease, they're reading the temperature along the transit. So whenever there's a spike, we want to integrate at that point. So we start guiding the customer through the claims process. The benefits for that from a legal perspective is quite significant. Sorry, what was your second question?
It's around the sales cycle length.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. So when we started off, we approached shipping lines and we thought that was a mistake. And the reason why we thought that was a mistake was the length of time it took for us to be able to get through our first pilot with the shipping line that we have worked with. Till date, we have worked with about 3 shipping lines. And the sales cycles are incredibly complex and long. So the lessons that we've learned from there was we had to look at which of the sites had more influence or the most influence. And we came up with the cargo owners. Without the premium or the freight coming from the cargo owners, there wouldn't be any shipping lines because there would be no cargo to transport, and the insurance companies will not have their premium. So that is why we, in our go-to-market now, we are focused on cargo owners, with their insurers, and then eventually the large shipping lines. Thanks, Cecilia.
Hi, Kingsley. Just a couple of questions from me. How much are you raising, and what will the kind of funds go towards?
So we are currently raising £400,000, and it will go. We spend it in 3 areas. The first one is to fine-tune our predictive algorithms. These predictive algorithms will help us significantly reduce the time it takes for these claims to be resolved. Then we also want to grow our development team. And the third aspect is to build our sales and marketing force to help drive our product to market.
That's great. I had another question. It's gone. Sorry. Where is it? The kind of traction to date has been based on a lot on consulting. So when do you expect actually for this product to kind of kick into revenues and
So we currently have 3 paying customers, well, 2 paying customers and 3 users. But we are in advanced discussions with a farm in Ghana, a freight forwarder, a global freight forwarder based out of Argentina, and we expect to see revenues coming from them pretty shortly.
Thanks.
Thank you, Luis.
Yeah, just a really quick question from me. So you said you're going to monetize each person in the flow. There are 3 different stakeholders, and you're going to monetize each one. Who are you going to start with, and are all of them paying you today? Like who's currently paying you, and how will you move into those other markets?
Okay, so we started with cargo owners. So cargo owners are paying us. But we are also using the solution in my previous company. My previous company is called Stillfresh, which handles these claims manually. So we have designed our solution such that lawyers and recovery agents can use our tool to streamline their processes as well. So the previous company which I used to work with, they're using our tool and they have had some successes on our solution. We haven't started working with insurance companies just yet.
And up next, we have Marius from Vidi Guides.
Brilliant. So I'm Marius. I'm the founder of Vidi Guides. And essentially what Vidi Guides is, it's a tour guide in your pocket. So we create and we distribute self-guided audio tours. And really what we empower people to do is to discover places and places of culture independently. And so forget what you know about, traditional audio guides, audio guide headsets. Really, like what we do, we benchmark ourselves on podcasts. So our tours sound like podcasts. They're conversations. They're fun. They're sharp. It's really engaging and it's multimedia. And really, like our whole starting point is we need to create the best content on the market and the best tours on the market. And the way in which we do that is, firstly, we create all the content ourselves. Secondly, like the way in which we do that is we go find the top expert in each field. So when we launch a new destination or a new place, we find like historians, top street artists, like food critics, no matter what the tour is, we collaborate with them. We get them to write a script. We then edit that. We turn that into like a fun, engaging sort of audio play, and then we publish it on our interface. So a couple of screenshots there in terms of what our interface looks like. It's essentially just a geolocalized map with a route, and we've also got audio. We've got photos, videos to enhance what's being said in the audio. And so I keep banging on about quality, best tours in the market. Our North Star metric is tour completion rate, and we have a 95% tour completion rate. And I think the best way for you guys to figure out what this content is just download the app, try it for yourself, and you'll get a good idea of the types of experiences we create. So our business model is B2B2C. We're a content creation company. We're experts at creating content. And what we do is that we use the strength of our partners to distribute our solution, our experiences. And essentially what this does, it brings our customer acquisition costs down to 0. So we sell our tours on OTAs, where we have first mover advantage. OTAs are basically booking platforms for tours and activities, and they are going to be huge. We also distribute through tour operators. So I mean, like, these guys have 50, 60 years worth of experience selling tours. We just package our tours within their offering and they sell it on. We've got partnerships with hotels where they distribute our tours. We work with tourism boards where they pay us to create content. And we also work with publishers such as, like, for instance, Culture Trip, where we create their branded tours and they sell them as like Culture Trip products. So you're probably thinking right now, like, oh, great, like travel company.
And I admit it's probably not the best time to launch a travel startup, but what this crisis, this kind of crisis for us, it's been a bit of a double-edged sword, because yes, we've seen our market completely collapse just as we were launching. But on the other hand as well, what this has happened, it's actually accelerated a lot of shifts, structural shifts and trends, which were happening in any case. And what we've got to remember is that this market is huge. It was worth 100 billion pounds in 2019 worldwide, and it will come back. And when it comes back, it's going to be very different, because attitudes towards tourism and sightseeing are changing. People are looking for more digital products. They're looking for more independence, more flexibility, more content-driven products. But the big thing is digitalization and the rise of these OTAs, so these booking platforms I was talking to you about. And the great thing for us, we've actually got first mover advantage, where we're the first digital products to be sold on most of these OTAs. And it is a beautiful business model for us, because one, it's super scalable. We can launch on any market overnight. And two, the margins are crazy, because essentially what we're doing, we're creating the content, we're creating an asset, we just put it up there, and then we just monetize it in exchange for a commission. So where we're at right now, so we're actually really well placed to, travel will come back, whether it comes back in 2022, 2023. We're very well placed to actually own this market. We raised £300,000 in December 2019, and now we're actually going out to be more aggressive and really, instead of being a regional player when travel picks up, we want to have a global presence. So that's why we're raising 1.5 million to basically build content.
Hey, Mario,
build 1,000.
Your 4 minutes are up, and the timer for the
Brilliant. Okay. Well, it's just to build 1,500 tours and to keep building those distribution channels.
Hi there. I can go first. Thanks for the pitch. It was really good. How many people have done tours with you so far?
Yeah. So I mean, we relaunched in September, and it's peanuts. We've had about 5,000 people do tours with us since September, but that's not the traction we're looking for right now. The traction, what we're looking for is to create those distribution channels, because our market doesn't exist. So we're not going to get significant traction on the kind of download side until 2022, maybe a little bit this summer. But really, what we've done is we've built up partnerships with pretty much all the biggest names in travel. We've launched on 8 of the top 10 OTAs, and quite often we're the first digital product sold there. And really, also what we've managed to do is build out that team of experts to create that content. So right now we have about 100 people writing content for us, and that's just scaling organically, because we're working from network effects, from historian to historian, from street artist to street artist, and that's what we see our traction as right now.
Okay, then surely so you're going to go to market through partnerships. You've already got a bunch of partnerships. Surely then, what's your reach been like? So 5,000 in the context of a pandemic sounds really good, but in the context of all those partnerships, it sounds really bad. So what's the reach been to potential customers, and therefore the conversion?
Well, to give you an example, OTAs, where we see as our biggest kind of channel, traffic is down 96% compared to 2019, because they just function on Google Ads, Apple Ads. So that's just, if we were to extrapolate our 5,000, or what we've actually managed to do with the market down at 96%, our margins are it's crazy business model, because our customer acquisition cost is essentially just the commission, which for an average tour is £1.15, and straight away off the first purchase we're making £8.37. So we're already profitable from the first sale. Before someone downloads the app, we're already making £7 in profit, or £7 margin.
Cool, nice.
Hi, Mario. Sorry, can you talk through the unit economics per tour, and how can you that further thing?
Sure. So what we've worked on right now is exactly right. Build how to get that content creations model. Right now, we create tours for about £600. At scale, we see that going to 1,000, just to give us a bit of margin to keep going over it, keep refreshing the content. So 1,000. After that, it's just about how many we can sell. So on, for instance, on an OTA, we pay 15% commission. So that's generally £1, £1.15 for something which costs £8.37. So essentially to pay back for a tour, we'd have to sell a tour 200 times. And just to give you a context, so the average tour guide sells 15 tours a day. And so there's no, if we were to sell 15 tours a day, we'd make our money back within a couple of days.
Okay. Sorry, and another question that I have is, you mentioned the possibility of white labeling and how you can do that for Culture Trip. So if Culture Trip gets, I don't know, white label product for the Tower of London, can you then resell the same content under Klook or other OTAs? How does that work?
Yeah, that's really, really interesting. So Culture Trip, it all sits within our app. So Culture Trip, we can't sell those tours on Klook, on Get Your Guide, on all these guys. But what we're doing, we basically, for us, we know how to create tours. It's super easy for us to create tours. So we're, for instance, creating tours for Klook and for Musement. And so, they each sell their individual tour. But once someone buys that tour, they download the Vidi Guides app, and then they're our customers, so we can sell them additional tours behind.
Okay, thank you.
But that's an exception. Most, for instance, Hilton branded, we can sell that through anything because it just exposes, it's good brand value for all these guys. Like if the more places we sell them.
Thank you.
Just sort of bang on time right there. So Marius, thank you very much for coming and pitching. It was a great pitch.
Thank you.
Judges, once again, thank you for great questions as always.
Thank you.
Bye, Marius. And last but not least, we've got Michael from Ametnes.
And our vision is to provide a cost-effective, flexible, innovative managed database solutions to support and help grow tomorrow's innovators. So who we are a London-based firm, and the product has been running for 6 months now. So it has largely been, you can call it an MVP, but it is really being used by our users. So what is the problem? So the problem is mainly an inflexible priced database cloud services. Each cloud provider is different. Making a multi-cloud strategy difficult. So organizations that do have a multi-cloud strategy would struggle to manage things such as pricing and costing across multiple clouds. And most importantly, there are limited choice of database engines. So each cloud provider will have their own database engine that they're of choice that they provide on their platform. So what Ametnes is doing is providing a cost-effective database cloud platform that sits across multiple cloud providers. So what that means is a unified price management across multiple clouds and a unified innovative database solution across multiple clouds. So the key word there is innovation, and that's something that we hold closely to our heart. So the market size that we're talking about here is the one that is obtainable to Ametnes is that market of customers that have a hybrid cloud strategy or a multi-cloud strategy. But that on a bigger scale, so that one there is about 5 billion as of date, but is likely to grow over the course of the next 10 years, which is really our vision to position ourselves to tap into that market. The addressable market is 26 billion as of date, and the total market for cloud services is about 300 billion. That is likely going to grow according to Gartner, and we see ourselves positioning ourselves to tap into all that market by supplying data solutions that are state-of-the-art and innovative as well. So our go-to-market strategy is based, at this point in time, we have about 2,000 users. All these users are mainly freemium users, but we're trying to convert those into paying users, and that is a key part of our strategy. But the go-to-market is really going to be trying to monetize the users that we currently have, and then focusing on those users that are providing prototypes, for example, with the intention of scaling their software across the globe. Those users could range from startups to enterprises. But with that, we basically are intending to build Ametnes into a brand that is known for innovation. Okay, so our offering really is dedicated services and shared services, which is actually the shared services bit is one that lacks or is missing amongst our competitors. Obviously, the marketing is really using the primary social marketing media, Facebook, Google Cloud, Google Ads, and YouTube, which are main marketing mediums for our business. In terms of monetization, as I mentioned before, our offering is basically dedicated services and shared services. For dedicated services, we offer monthly subscription, okay, but we also offer annual pricing plans. So what the annual pricing plan does for us is it gives us some revenue or cash flow ahead of time, but in turn, users are able to share services as well.
Hey, Mike, just to let you know, your 4 minutes is up and the time of the question is up.
Yeah. Eat into my 4 minutes then.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. Okay. So the financial highlights for us, and this is important. So at this point in time, we've launched for 6 months. What we're trying to do now to focus on scaling, and the scaling bit is the one that's important. We scale on 3 fronts or 3 dimensions. Scale in multiple regions around the world for a single cloud provider, and then scale across multiple cloud providers. We have 3 cloud providers that we are focusing on: Google Cloud, AWS, and Azure. And then scale in terms of services. Currently, we offer MySQL, databases, and Postgres, but we'd like to add more on top of that. So the next second year really is going to be focusing on the enterprise and then building a partner program and transforming the platform into one that software engineers can deploy their software and services. We've got obviously competition, but we think that we have a good proposition. And our team right now is myself, I'm the founder. I've worked 15 years in the industry at top tier organizations, and Pfizer is an advisor. So we have a team of 3 other software engineers that are freelancers, but really they're waiting to get full on board as soon as we get we're able to afford and pay them. So the ask really is for us, we're seeking for $1 million, which is equivalent to 10% of the business. And to that, I come to the end. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Hi, Michael. I'll kick off. Notice that you are doing an MBA at the moment. So when are you going to finish this? How much time are you able to spend on the business when you're kind of doing that?
So I've actually put my MBA on pause for now. Yeah. I need to pursue this.
And also, kind of terms of the valuation of kind of 9 million. How did you get there?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So we have looked at the number of users that we currently have, okay, and looked at the margin. So if we talk about the unit economics, so on average, a user is able to. So on average, we're looking at about spending anywhere between $150 to $200 a month, okay, on every on a single dedicated service. So in terms of the size of the market, when we look at the potential growth rate, it really is in terms of the margins. We look at, so what we do is there are quite a number of businesses that that will give you, for example, so if you look at, just give me a minute, let me refer to my spreadsheet. That's where the valuation is, so I can give you the proper numbers there. So the current growth rate looks at about 50% for year on year. And if you look at the EBITDA, our EBITDA is about 3.8 million in year 2, which is based on total revenue of about 16 million. Okay, and that's really coming off the back of the fact that we're able to save money on purchasing computer storage in bulk from our cloud providers. So when you purchase in bulk from cloud providers, you're able to get up to 50% in discount. Okay, and on top of that, what we do is our offering is mainly, so that's when you purchase in bulk, you're basically paying upfront of about 50%. That's the saving you get. Now, what you can with a markup of about 50%, we still are cheaper than our competition. So, and looking at the size of the market and what it's the provision to grow, we think that we can hit those numbers based on our growth rate, which is about 500 users we're signing up every month currently. So the market that we've actually focused on right now, something important to mention is we are focusing on the Indian market, which is somehow we just found that the Indian market seems to be more attractive to our solution. So the Indian market is offering us a good turnout. We spend nearly about $70 a month on marketing, but we're still able to sign up nearly 500 users every month. See, so based on that average, that is where we project that we're able to hit those numbers. Our key aspect is we're using something called software virtualization, which, sorry, beg your pardon. So software virtualization, so we use software virtualization, which allows us to time slice. So when we buy compute in bulk, we're able to provision and slice that compute and storage and apply a lot of users onto a single compute engine. And that's how we're able to provide to sit a lot of instances, a lot of services onto a single instance. So when we look at that using those unit economics, we think that we've got a bigger margin that we can explore and take advantage of, and that's how we're able to come up with that valuation.
Well, thank you, Michael, for the pitch. Thanks for coming. Great pitch. And judges, for the last time, thank you very much for the great questions. That's actually our last pitch of the evening in this room. And for you guys, you can head over to the judges room, where you and Andrew and the judges from the other pitch room can engage in great conversation just about what you've seen tonight, some further advice for anyone, and some of the staff can join the room and ask you through the Q&A medium on the side. Yeah, feel free to go join that if you would like. But thank you again for coming. You guys were great. Sometimes judges can lose a bit of attention towards the end, but you guys kept it on the whole time, so thank you for that.